So has it always been that companies optimize and try to not hire until they have to? I'd say for a lot of traditional companies, yeah. But for anybody who is taking on money or trying to do something with technology or technology adjacent programs to quote transform, to lead to innovation, they were spending money left and right. And that means they were collecting people, collecting names, collecting.
Because I have spent 25 years in this industry. I've never once legitimately worked for a startup or been in that world. I've always been a service-based, do things for people that need it, one-off sort of business. I always wondered what all those people did at those companies.
Well, so
like
at InVision,
100 designers at
yeah, I could tell you, having been there firsthand, some of the divisions got it and created the culture and the relationships, the partnerships where design in particular actually was just a cog in a well-oiled machine, just clicking. And I had a couple of those teams at USAA, and the amount of work that they could do and good work was insane. And I had other teams for the exact opposite. They didn't know what to do with design. They didn't understand design, even though you sit them down almost to the point of like, we're going to go through the coloring book today.
Yeah.
What kind of crayon do you want to color with? Right. Like really holding hands. And it was just kind of more of like, this is new. We don't need it. We never needed it. We're not going to use it. So if I don't use you, you're going to go away. All right. So I've seen that too. But when like at startups, so at InVision, I was hired to stand up a design team to build enterprise distinct features in the InVision platform.
Okay.
And I won't bore you with what that means, but I was hired mid-December, actually signed documents and passed a lot of that along and established my start date like on January 7th. On the day before Christmas Eve, I got a call from my future boss, and he said, "Hey, just want to let you know that we got out of our last strategic planning session for the next year," which that's a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve. And we've decided to move all of your headcount to a different team. Not sure what you're going to do yet, but you don't worry. We're going to find something for you to do.
Yeah.
Just thought you should know. I still have no idea why he told me this. Unless it was like maybe like a now that I think about this, talking about it, maybe it was hopefully you'll quit or something. But
yeah, probably.
We'll see you next year. I started. They cobbled 2, maybe 3 designers that were kind of on these really small teams that didn't warrant a leader, a director. And after 6 weeks, as things started tanking in InVision, it was pretty clear, like things in the product department, they didn't need more design leaders. They needed more engineers. And so I actually got shuffled to another team on design transformation, which is what I was doing at IBM. So that was a good fit, but still I had no work.
Right.
Like they didn't say, "Thank God you're here," or just even like, "Welcome. Take half of Bob's, workload because, he's underwater or something." It was just kind of like, it was keeping me, it reminded me of music labels when they would go and hire, kind of bands that sounded similar to their number one, band.
Right.
Sign a multi, record deal, record the records, and then shelve them.
Right.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And so
that's gross.
Moving forward though, I think those days are gone. And I don't say for good. I think it'll happen again. Just like when .com happened.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
It'll happen again. But when it happens again, it's not going to tie it back to this coaching and like where things are going. It's not going to be yesterday. And
Yeah.
especially when so much is in transformation, or I shouldn't say change. We're not even really transforming yet. We're just still dog paddling in all
Mhm.
this shit, right? And so when we're dog paddling, it's, look for land ahead of you. It's almost kind of like, to keep using this bad metaphor or analogy. It's if we're swimming between islands and we're more than halfway to the island in front of us and deciding, hey, no, I kind of remember that island back there. I knew how to do things
Yeah.
there. I knew where the crab,
Right.
I'm going to swim back. Right.
Yeah.
And so I just feel like, for coaching, this is where the lactic acid part comes in, because I look at what am I saying different than what these other folks are offering and what they're proposing. And I think that the first lesson is you got to forget what you knew. And what I mean by that is, I should say, forget your expectations. Forget the mission that you were on. The
Yeah.
missions moving forward are new, they're different, and nobody cares what you did yesterday. Like, that's always been true, but I feel like that more than ever. Who cares what you did yesterday? What can you do for me today to help figure out all of what is happening and how we can move forward? It doesn't have to be a Hail Mary. It doesn't have to be a
Right.
moonshot. How can we gain inches, right? Without threatening the company's future.
And that's what you propose to be
That to me is
coaching
because
someone on.
in lactic acid. Now you can look.
Legit.
I'm not an Olympic athlete.